Hey everyone, Joe here. Today I want to talk about how you can make the most of your recording time in the studio. Whether you're recording yourself in your home studio or whether you've got studio time booked, you want to make the most out of your time and money. Here are my 4 top tips to help you to do that. Tip number 1, have a clear vision of what you want from the session. So how much time have you got and what do you want to achieve in that time? Do you want to record a certain amount of songs? Do you want to get a certain amount of tracks done? Do you want to do all the drums and bass on day 1 and all the vocals and guitars on day 2? Set out a clear plan, write it out, make sure the whole band's on board and see if you can stick to that. But the main thing is having a goal for each day, and you're likely to make much more progress that way. It should give you more of a sense of achievement when you've achieved these goals each day. It'll help you allot your time better, it will help you save money, and it'll also help you not to rush. You don't constantly have this idea that you just need to get everything done right now. You've got to do the drums and the bass and the vocals and everything. It just lets you focus. Okay, got the drums to do today, 8 hours for example, 4 tracks, say 2 hours per drum track. And again, you don't have to rush and make cut-off points, it's just a guide to stick to help you keep motivated and make progress. Tip number 2, learn the material in advance. Anything that you can do outside of the recording studio before your session, you should be doing. Everyone should be on board, everyone should be learning their parts. You don't want to treat the recording studio session as a practice session. I've had it a lot where I've had clients in and they've done really well scheduling everything. They've got goals, they want to record a certain amount of tracks per day, but then that whole schedule just gets shifted along if they have to spend half an hour before each song practicing. Obviously you might want to run the song through once or twice, get the feel of it, but everyone should know what they're doing, even in the practice. You may decide you want to make a few tweaks here and there, like after you've recorded it, you might think maybe that bridge needs to be double length or something like that, and you can't plan for that, and that's fine, it's part of being an artist. But just the general structure of the song and whatever you can learn outside of the studio, make sure you do. There's a sunk cost in setting up all the equipment. It takes a long time to get a drum kit set up and making sure it sounds great. So it's just another reason to make the most of the time. Tip number 3, make sure all of your gear and equipment is in tip-top shape. I'm talking change your guitar strings a few days before, change your drum heads, tune up your instruments, cables, pedals, batteries, you name it. You want to check everything. And you want to take a spare. I've run sessions where the primary goal for the client was to record some drum covers for YouTube, so he was filming as well. His battery ran out and his SD card fell to bits. It was late on a Sunday, nowhere was open, so the last hour of the session we completely wasted. So anything you can take a spare of, I highly recommend you do. Even instruments, take 2 guitars, even if you're not going to use one of them. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Tip number 4, you know what you want, but does the person recording or mixing you know what you want? Whenever I have a client coming in to record, I always make sure I open up a conversation with them. I want to get to know them. I want to find out what kind of music they like. I want to know exactly what they want to get out of the session. It just helps build up a friendly rapport. It helps speed up the process on the day. And it's so important that the engineer knows what sound you're after. Any good engineer will be happy to have a chat with you. I always ask my clients for a reference track as well, just 1 or 2 pieces of music that they like the sound of. They might have very specific elements of the track that they really like a certain vocal effect. They might just love the album. And then the engineer can keep in their mind that kind of sound. That's what they're going for. They might even be able to use a few of the tricks that were on that album if they do their research. So just have a chat with them, let them know what you want to achieve, make sure you're both on the same page. So those are the 4 things you should keep in mind when preparing for your next recording session. Being prepared will get you the most for your time and money, and when everyone knows the score, it does wonders for building your confidence. If you have any tips you found useful when preparing for a recording session, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. And if you found these tips helpful, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.